So a few years ago, I traveled to the beautiful island of Mauritius. Off the east coast of Africa, out past Madagascar, Mauritius is surrounded by the Indian Ocean. Now, of course, the group I was with, we went diving. Wait a minute, I take that back. They went diving, I was puking off the side of the boat. In any case, if you've been diving, you've probably seen schools of fish. And you, being the smart guy you are, probably know why fish do this. First up, it's a defensive mechanism. A school of hundreds to even thousands of fish confuses a predator. In fact, when attacked, a school of fish oftentimes forms a circle, making it difficult for the predator to single out individual fish. Next up is feeding. Believe it or not, a school of fish, because so many fish are looking for the food, they are more likely to find it. The third reason? Sex. Schools can bring the sexes together and encourage breeding. So what does this have to do with you and not being invisible? Well, first up, I assume most of you watching are not fish. And although being invisible definitely has its advantages, especially if you're a ninja, the blending in strategy does not work out for a man who wants to express and be himself and who would like to meet other people. To be blunt, gents, if you look and behave like everyone else, how is she supposed to even notice you? So how to stand out from the crowd and how to do it tastefully? Rule number one, be self-aware. Be yourself. Everyone else is taken. Now, gents, I love to read the comments here at Roman Real Style. So often I go down in there and you guys share some great stories, some insights, some things I didn't even think about. But it seems like there's always one genius who wants to enlighten me and says, this is a bunch of bullshit. Seriously, just be yourself. Now, guys, being straight up, I get this sentiment. I understand what this person is saying. But the reality is it's nonsense because the vast majority of the world, most men have not actually defined who they are. Seriously, do you know what your values are? Are they written down somewhere? Do you have a vivid vision of the man you want to become in the next 3 years? For a small percentage of it, the answer is going to be yes. Congratulations. But the reality is most people aren't this self-aware. And those that even are, oftentimes they've got an outdated vision. They've got a picture of themselves that they formed 5, 10, 20 years ago. Now, this may not seem like a big deal, but it's huge because oftentimes you find that you're working, you're slaving away, you're putting in the hours going after a dream that is somebody else's. It isn't even yours anymore. It was a dream you had when you were 18, when you started college. I know because this happened to me. I went through 2 years of college thinking I'm going to be going pre-med, and then my junior year figured out, you know what, this is not for me. I don't want to be a doctor. I had a gentleman reach out to me the other day saying, yeah, I got a safe career in IT and, I'm making good money, but here's the thing, I gave up on my dream, which was going after acting. Now, I'm not going to second guess this guy's decision, but the fact that he's writing me, telling me this story makes me think that actually he needs to reconsider the path he's on because he can give it a shot, or at least he could maybe give it a simultaneous shot while he's working an IT career. Maybe he could move to Los Angeles where there's more acting opportunities and during the day have his IT job and at night be reading scripts and going to auditions. The point is, when you're self-aware, you're honest with yourself about who you are, what you stand for, what you want to accomplish, what you want to commit to. Because if you're not honest with yourself, you cannot be a man of honor. And that's my next tip to standing out from the crowd, is to be a man of honor. If I were to say that, a lot of people think it's an outdated word. What does it mean to be a man of honor? Well, if you ask Rob Roy McGregor, he'll tell you that honor is what no man can give you and no man can take away. Honor is a man's gift to himself. I always love that quote. And if you haven't seen the movie, definitely check it out. Rob Roy, amazing. Now, right with that, and perhaps a more practical application, is this definition that I came up with. Honor is the quiet satisfaction of acting in alignment with one's principles. In a nutshell, it's defining the rules you want to live your life by and then following them. And being a man of honor is a man who lives according to his rules, to his principles, and doesn't bend. So what are the principles a man should abide by? Well, that goes beyond this video. I will say, look to history. Look to men you respect, men in your family that you look up to. There are many different sources you can pull from to define the principles, but at the end of the day, you have to do this for yourself. Now, when you do find these principles, you're going to want to commit to them. And commitment, I've got up here as a very important thing that's going to help you stand out from the crowd, because so many people are not really committed. They're just interested. And the difference, so you've ever heard of the chicken and the pig at breakfast? So the chicken gives an egg to breakfast. He's interested. A pig is committed because he supplied the bacon. Point being is a commitment is something that you really have a strong desire to live up to that or to be a part of it. It's something that oftentimes requires sacrifice. An example, in relationships, if you're going out with somebody, that's interest. If you're boyfriend, girlfriend, if you're getting married, that is commitment. Maybe a little bit extreme for some. Let's get to something really practical, something simple. When you buy a car, there's a bit of a commitment there. It's a large purchase. You are agreeing, if you're going to buy it with payments, to make that purchase every month. You need to get insurance. You're going to have to get all these other things. You're going to have to take care of the vehicle. There is a long-term commitment here. Other examples of commitment to most people: going back to college, purchasing a house, having a child. These are all things that if you're truly committed to, you're going to have to take action on. You're going to have to sacrifice. You are going to have to take care of this. You're going to have to take action even when you don't want to. And speaking of taking action even when you don't feel it, let's talk about courage. Now, when I say the word courage, a lot of people think of movie courage. You know, that good guy fighting the bad guy, pulling out his lightsaber, whatever it is. Now, don't get me wrong, that type of courage is cool, but I think a more common courage that we see out there is just people standing up for what they believe. In addition, courage isn't the absence of fear, but rather the decision that something else is more important than that fear. So courage is having standards, knowing when to say no. Yeah, she didn't show up today, she ghosted you, and now she's coming back. Well, have the courage. Yes, she's incredibly beautiful. She's what you consider a 9 or a 10. But here's the deal, is if she flaked on you then, okay, she's probably going to continue. She's shown, believe who she is. So have the courage to say, you know what, I'm sorry, I've got standards and you didn't meet it. Or maybe you're at church, maybe you're at work, and somebody says something that's off color, something that you disagree with, that you think's wrong. I'm not saying you got to stand up and walk out or that you need to confront them right then, but it could be something, hey, you have the courage to speak to that person afterwards in private, because you know that they're going to be less defensive. They're going to probably be more open to hearing another person's opinion. All right, so that first part of the video I know was a bit heavy, talking about everything that's going on up here in the mind, but it's so key because you first have to think it before you take action on it. And if you don't believe, if you don't know what you stand for, then you're not going to be able to dress, you're not going to be able to take actions that are going to set you apart. You're always going to be self-sabotaging yourself because deep down, yeah, you don't see yourself as different. When you have the courage to stand up and be yourself, be somebody different, be someone that stands apart from the crowd, all of a sudden, then it's going to be much easier to take the actions I'm about to reveal. So first up on the practical tips, go to the gym first thing in the morning, not at night. And the reason you want to go in the morning is it sets the whole day. Even if you're running, even if you haven't ran for a year, going to the gym that morning throughout the day, you are just going to look better. You're going to have more blood that pumped into your skin. You are simply going to have the endorphins running through the body for the next few hours. You know, make sure to shower, clean up after that. All of a sudden, there's going to be something about you. You're going to feel better. Mentally, you are now in a point knowing that, hey, I just took a step in the right direction, taking care of my body. Now, of course, if you keep this up for months, you're going to be in much better shape. Make sure to also pay attention to what's going in your body. You can't outrun a bad diet. But I think you taking this step, just again, it could be the morning that you need to feel more confident. The morning that you decide, hey, today I'm tired of this. Instead of one day, it's going to be day one. The day one that you decide I want to stand up from the crowd, simply go for a walk, go for a run, hit the gym, do some push-ups. Yes, you only did 2 push-ups, but that's 2 more than you did yesterday. And all of a sudden, over a year, you can build up. Again, I've got this friend, he has this push-up mentality. He's like, just do 1. Now he's up to like 100 a day. It's because he started small, he was able to accomplish it, and then all of a sudden he developed a habit. Now, of course, we're a style channel, and many of you guys have probably noticed this shirt, and you're like, Antonio, that's a pretty bit loud. Does it even work with that jacket? I thought it was a pretty interesting combination. Point being, I've got tons of clothing here, so I have a lot of fun with it. But when you understand, hey, I can have fun with my style, I can have fun with my image, it's a conversation starter, it helps you stand out from the crowd, and style is one of the easiest things that you can do. And you don't have to go out and buy new clothing. You simply go through, take the clothing that you have, find that actually works well, gets you compliments, and then make sure your other clothing is adjusted to fit you just as well. Is that great fitting jacket, that great fitting shirt? Maybe actually look to replicate it. Notice certain colors that work for your skin tone. Maybe, yeah, you go out there and you buy a few things, bring them into your wardrobe. Look for the holes in your wardrobe. Oftentimes people have plenty of trousers, they got tons of jeans, they don't have any jackets though. They really don't have any shirts that pop. So that's the area of your wardrobe that you want to bring in those items so you can create an interchangeable wardrobe, own less items, get more outfits out of it. But again, what you're looking to do is take out the items that are stained, that are torn, that just don't work, that you don't like the look of, and replace those with items that are already getting you compliments, or the colors, the cuts, because what you want to have is a wardrobe eventually of items that you love. When you've got a wardrobe of items you love, you start putting together these combinations, it becomes fun to get dressed because you're getting compliments and you're just looking good and feeling good. Now, at this point, you may be wondering, how does my style measure up? What actions do I need to take? Well, gents, if you haven't taken our style quiz over at Real Men Real Style, I'm going to link to it down in the description below. This is a free and fun quiz in which we ask you questions and then we give you a breakout of your style score and areas that you can improve. But if that's not enough, if you're a man that wants to take action, you're tired of watching all of these videos and not actually following through, going through and buying the clothing, revamping your wardrobe, improving your image, then you need to check out our course, The Style System. Over the last decade, this has been the internet's go-to professional men's style course in which we teach you exactly what you need to know. The goal of the Style System is to give you the information you need to take action so that you can become your best dressed self. Seriously, gents, you're going to walk into a room and unless I'm present, you're going to be the best dressed guy there. Seriously, I've met men who have gone through my course and they put me to shame at times because, yeah, I dressed down and these guys came in and they owned the room. But seriously, gents, check out the course. It's all about action. It's about you taking the steps to become the man you know yourself to be. All the links to everything I just mentioned down in the description of today's video. Now, these next two, I'm going to combine them, and that is to embrace curiosity and to practice 90-second conversations. So a lot of guys think, hey, I want to talk to that beautiful woman. I just don't know how. Well, guess what? You probably don't talk to a lot of other people. So of course you don't know how. Put in the reps. Be curious about other people that you don't need anything from. Yeah, she's 65. She's, you're 25, but you're just interested. Wow, I really love your shoes. Or where are you from? You've got an amazing accent. Genuinely be curious about people. Have those 25-second, 30-second, 90-second effortless conversations because you're just interested in people. After you've done this dozens, if not hundreds of times, when you meet a beautiful woman, you're going to be able to have an effortless conversation because you've put in the reps. Similar to going to the gym, first time you show up, you don't know what any of those machines are. After you've been there 10, 20 times, you know like 5 to 6 machines. You've got a little bit of a routine. After you've been to that gym for 2 years, you know everyone that works there. You know who the regulars are, who the new people are. You've tried every machine, or you've at least seen people get on and you understand why no one uses that machine in the back that, is deadly. But seriously, in my gym, there's a machine in the back that nobody touches. I swear it's like killed 2 or 3 people. Point being is by being curious and putting in the reps, practicing those conversations, it becomes effortless. So you start to have these conversations and you set yourself apart from the crowd because it's easy for you to talk to anybody. The next tip to stand out from the crowd, master the science of scent. So I'm on an airplane the other day, barely caught my connection, and I was starved. I didn't get to stop and grab any food, and the person sitting in front of me had this chocolate croissant with coffee. I know this because I could smell the chocolate, the baked bread, the coffee. My mouth was watering. And the frustrating part, I couldn't ignore this. I couldn't see it, yet every time I took a breath, I was just, I was just getting hungrier and hungrier. The point here is if you smell good, here's the thing. She can't ignore you. People can't ignore somebody that smells amazing. Now, let me be clear. I'm not saying choke people out and apply 30 sprays. We're not going to go all curly fragrance here. But I'm saying if you're going out with friends, if you're going out for the day, nothing wrong with putting your favorite go-to signature scent on. Now, what about jewelry? In particular, necklaces. Well, guys, I got you covered with this video right here. If you want to be able to stand out from the crowd and be able to wear a necklace and look good, you need to check out this video right here. I'm really proud I put this thing together, a lot of research, a lot of details, and I think it's the best video on the web teaching men how to wear a necklace and look good. Boom, check it out right here.